Good morning, my dear students. In the previous class, I taught you about connective tissue. Today, I am going to explain you muscular tissue. Locomotion is a boon to animals. All the living organisms move. If you consider a plant, it can move its body parts. So, body parts undergoes movement, but it doesn't undergo locomotion. But if you take an animal or human being, they undergoes movement and also locomotion. What is the difference between movement and locomotion? Movement means the organism moves only the body parts, but it cannot transfer from one place to the other. Example, plant. It just moves but doesn't change its position. But it's completely different for animals. They move and also undergo locomotion in search of water, shelter, food, etc. We move, isn't it? Okay, so that's the difference between movement and locomotion. How do animals locomote? What does it use for the locomotion? That is our muscular tissue. So, for the locomotion, our muscular tissues are very much helpful. Okay, so consider the internal organs. Does the internal organs move? Yes or no? If that question is asked to you, the internal organs undergo movement. How? Just say stomach. If stomach and intestine stop moving, what will happen? Can you control that first of all? No, isn't it? Soon after you eat, the process of digestion will take place inside your body and it's a continuous process, isn't it? So how does the digestion takes place? Only with the help of the movement of internal organ. That is, it doesn't move from place to place, but it undergoes movement. A kind of movement takes place in order to complete the process of digestion. Likewise, you take lungs. Okay, if the lung stops working, what happens? You are unable to breathe, isn't it? So if you are unable to breathe, it costs your life. So the lungs move, heart pumps the blood, internal organs are in mild movement so that we are able to lead our life peacefully without any disease. If the internal organ stops its movement, definitely our body condition will become worse, isn't it? Okay, so for these kind of movements, what is helpful? Movement or locomotion, what is helpful? What kind of tissue is helpful? Of course, muscular tissue is the right answer for that. So, with the help of muscular tissue only, we are able to move our body. We are able to move from place to place. So, these muscular tissues are elongated cells, cylindrical in structure, and it contains contractile proteins, actin and myosin. So, the muscular tissues are what shape? Yes, they are cylindrical in shape and fibers are arranged parallel to each other. And this is composed of numerous myofibrils. based on the structure, location, and function, these muscular tissues are classified into three types. They are striated muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. What are they? Striated muscle, otherwise you can say it is skeletal muscle. Striated muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. First, we'll see about the striated muscle or skeletal muscle. Where can you find this muscle? These muscles are found very close to the skeleton. They are found very close to the bone. Okay, the muscles are attached to the bones, and this is responsible for the body movements. If you want to walk, if you want to jump, or if you want to run, whatever activities you are doing are done with the help of the striated muscles. Why? These muscles are found around the bones. Since it is found around the bone, it is called as skeletal muscle. And these muscles are under our control. We can control it. So it is called as voluntary muscle. How shall we control it? If you want to take rest, you can. Or if you want to raise up your hand, you can do it. If you want to do yoga or exercise, whatever may be, if you like, you can move your body parts. If you are not interested, you can take rest. So it is under your control. Your muscles are under your control. What kind of muscles? Voluntary muscles. So this is about the striated muscle. So they have got fibers, the muscle fibers, and are elongated, long, and also cylindrical in structure. And you can find dark and light bands. You can notice dark and light bands. If you view it through the microscope, you can notice bands, dark color as well as light color bands are found. That's why we name it as striped. Since it is giving striated appearance, we name this muscle as striped muscles. And they have nucleus. Can you notice? Nucleus. They possess many nuclei. They are, that's why it is called as multinucleate. Since it contains many nucleus, it is called as multinucleate. This can be found around the skeleton, and it occur in the biceps and triceps of arms and undergo rapid contraction. So, very important point to be noticed is this striated muscles are found around the skeletal muscles, and they are voluntary muscles. Why they are voluntary muscles? They move according to our will. So, they are called as voluntary muscle. That's about the skeletal muscle. Next, we are going to see about smooth muscle. So these muscles are spindle shaped with broad middle part and tapering ends. Can you notice? So in the middle it is broad and in the end it is tapered. So that is becoming sharp, isn't it? That is what we say it is. The thickness is going on reducing. That's what we say it is tapering. So these muscles are broad in the middle part and tapering ends. There is a single centrally located nucleus. That's why we say it is uninucleate. Each tissue has got single nuclei. What is that? Uninucleate. So these fibrils do not bear any stripes or striations. We noticed many stripes in the skeletal muscle, isn't it? But here in the smooth muscles, you are not able to find any striations. And the smooth muscles are not under our control. It is involuntary in nature. That's why these muscles are called as involuntary muscles. Why? We cannot control the movement. For example, the internal organs are made up of smooth muscles only. Blood vessels, gastric glands, intestinal villi, urinary bladder, all these are made up of smooth muscles. All the internal organs are made up of smooth muscles. We cannot control it. Automatically, the water gets collected in the urinary bladder. When it gets filled up, it will be expelled out, isn't it? Can we control it? No, we couldn't. So the digestion process is automatically goes on inside our body. Can you stop the digestion? No, it's impossible. So this kind of muscles, smooth muscles, are not under our control. They are called as involuntary muscles. So the walls of the internal organs are not under our control. So internal organs are made up of smooth muscles. So the 2 points to be remembered: smooth muscles are involuntary and striations are not found. So they are unstriated. Next, cardiac muscle. It is a special contractile tissue present where in the heart. Remember, cardiac, the word cardiac refers heart. The cardiac muscle is present in our heart. And here the muscle fibers are cylindrical, branched and uninucleate. Already I told you, uni means single. Single nucleus is present. And the branches join to form a network called intercalated disc, which are unique distinguishing feature of the cardiac muscle. What is intercalated disc? Intercalated disc means especially it is found between the cardiac cell, bonding the cardiac muscle cells together, and it is transmitting the signals between the cells, cardiac cells. Can you understand? So this why it is called intercalated disc? It means it is bonding the cardiac muscle cells. Okay, the contraction of the cardiac muscle is also involuntary. We cannot control the movement of our heart, isn't it? So this is also involuntary and rhythmic. Continuous contraction and relaxation is happening in our heart rhythmatically at right interval of time. Okay, that's about the cardiac muscle. So remember, cardiac muscles are involuntary and doesn't have any striations. I repeat, children, three kind of muscles are there. Skeletal muscles are attached to the bones and they are voluntary muscles and have many striations. So they are called a striated muscle. Then coming to smooth muscle are broad in the middle and getting tapered, and it is tapered in the ends. It is uninucleate and involuntary and unstriated. And coming to cardiac muscles are present in the heart. Okay, and they are also involuntary muscles, uninucleate. Okay, and structure is like striated muscles. It has striations, dark and light band can be found in this cardiac muscle. Okay, and next, so we have seen about the three kinds of muscles. What are they? Striated muscle or skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle and smooth muscle. And next, coming to nervous tissue. Nervous, what the word nervous or what? Nerve cells. The nerve cells, or otherwise we can say it is neurons. So the nervous tissue mainly contains what? Neurons. This nervous tissue is the longest cell of the, sorry, not nervous tissue. This is this neuron. This neuron is the longest cell of the body. So often it will be asked in the one word. The longest cell in our body is what? Neuron. Neurons are the structural and the functional units of the nervous tissue. So this neuron is present where? In the central nervous system. Central nervous system. Brain and spinal cord comes under the central nervous system. Okay, here whatever informations through the sensory organs, whatever informations are carried to the brain, and information from the brain are carried to our sense organs are done only with the help of these neurons. These neurons, you can see the structure, they are elongated and slender process of neuron, and that they are made up of nerve fibers. Each neuron is having three main parts: cell body, dendron and axon. Cell body, you can see the purple color part. Head part, cell, that is cell body, or we can say it is cyton. It contains nucleus in the middle. Green color nucleus, can you notice? It contains nucleus in the middle. This is cell body. And next you can see the branches coming out from the cell body, which we say it as dendrite. So one more part is there, that is axon. It's a long fiber like process which is developing from the cyton, and it is ending up with the axon terminal or terminal branches. Okay, so three parts, you remember the three parts. What are the three parts in nervous tissue? Cell body or cyton, then dendrons and axon. These are three important parts in the nervous tissue. You can learn about this nervous tissue detailed manner in next year. Okay, 10th standard you will learn in very detail. So here you are just knowing about the nervous tissue. The nervous tissue is made up of what? Neuron. Where it is present? It is a kind of nerve cell which is present in the central nervous system. Okay, so what's the purpose of this neuron means? It's a nerve cell, isn't it? So carries all the informations. So the informations are carried to the brain, and sudden response also coming from the brain to the sensory organs only with the help of this neuron. Okay, so they have the ability to receive the stimuli from within or outside the body and send the signals to different parts of the body. Okay, this is about the nervous tissue. Nervous tissue are made up of what? Neuron. With this, I'll wind up this class. Thank you, students.